Right, so it has been 2 years, 3 months since I purchased my motorbike. Two years, 3 months of riding. Oops. Make sure my pocket's done up. And the last thing I want to do is, oh yeah, it's not done up. What do I think about the Superlow 883? So mine is a 2014. It came with, it was stock as a rock. It had a, what did it have on it? It had a, oh, okay, so it had a sundowner seat originally. Now it's got a, I'm not sure what that one is. It's not a Lepera anymore. But yeah, so I changed the seat. Everything else, I changed the handlebars. It's got the mini apes on it now, the 10-inch apes. And it's got a little little screen on the front because I do a lot of highway riding, so up and down the what we call the parkway. It was much easier just to have that on there to keep the wind off of me, and it helps a lot. It stops the wind buffeting me in the chest. The bars, I think I need to tilt back a little bit further. They're still not quite where I want them, but yeah, I still love it. So the new seat, new handlebars, and they've got this awesome braided line on it too, which is just awesome, because it's awesome. Two years. Finally got new tyres on it the other day. Took it in for its service, and they said, need new tyres, otherwise you can't ride it. So if you look back through some of my old videos, you'll see my very poor attempts at learning to ride. I failed my I failed my P's, got disheartened, let my L's, well, my L's expired like the day after. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Failed my L's, failed my P's, had to reset my L's. She is stock as a rock, but listen to her. Had a little bit of mods done to the exhaust, so she's good. I like it a lot. It's completely different riding for pleasure than it is for riding for pleasure than it is riding to work. Like, this is so different, just blatting around. Because I want to, not because I have to. Alright, so back onto the topic. Is the XL883L Superlow ideal as a learner bike? Now, in Australia, there are restrictions. Holy, yeah, that's a nice, very nice. There are restrictions on what you are and are not allowed to have as a learner. In the ACT where I live, I think it's the only place that the 883s are street legal for learners. If you're caught on one of these anywhere else, you get a nice fine and you're not allowed to ride it anymore. So that's something to consider. The weight of them, if you're a smaller person, I took a Iron 883 for a test ride the other day while this guy was in for a service, and it's very top heavy, whereas the Superlow, for, you know, its name is Superlow. Not just the fact that I can flat foot, and anyone can flat foot on it, the weight is very, very low. the weight, the center of gravity is really, really low. Disclaimer, I'm not a technical person when it comes to bikes. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I am just talking my thoughts while I'm going for a ride. The stock seat is not bad, but I'm pretty much, Harleys are made to be upgradable. So you think about a marketing, idea of, let's sell someone a bike with everything on it so they don't need to ever do anything to it. That doesn't work if you want to profit. So they sell you a bike that's got the power that you want, but is uncomfortable. The seats suck, the handlebars suck, the pegs are all wrong. Look at the new the Street Bob, for example. That thing is the most uncomfortable bike that I've ever sat on. It puts you in the fetal position. It's just absolutely rubbish. Because it's made to be customized. They are sold to you, so you will go through the parts catalog. That is all a Harley is. So yeah, I've got the 10-inch mini apes, which I love. I just feel they're a little bit far forward still. I need to pull them back a bit. I've got the seat off of Gumtree. I can't even remember what sort of seat it is. And I sold my Lapera bare bones. It was good, but it still pushed me a bit too far forward, whereas this puts me back in such a spot that my legs are comfortable, and that was where I was having lots of issues, was my legs. My back, I have back problems. I have an autoimmune disease which affects my spine, so comfort is hard for me to find. So the mini apes were definitely going to happen. The original handlebars, I was just leaning forward and I was so uncomfortable. Yeah, so the mini apes were always going to happen. I wanted to maybe even put some bars on, sort of the W's, whatever they're called. I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, just to give my arms a little bit more of a realistic pose on them. But I figure I want to upgrade it soon, so I'm not going to keep throwing money at it. As for power, I don't feel there's too much power on the 883s to get you in too much trouble, but they can definitely get you out of trouble. Being learner legal and an 883, I feel that some of the Ninjas have got a bit more, the sports bikes have got a bit more oomph than what these guys do, but these guys will still take out most four-wheel vehicles. Maneuverability, mine's a 2014. I'm not sure what the newer ones are like, whether they've changed the frame or anything, but you can't swing this guy around too much. You can have fun with it, but if you swing him a bit too far, you are going to grind the shit out of the pegs. I have more fun on this in the straight lines than I do around the corners. I've grinded the pegs a few times and it scares the absolute crap out of me. Affordability, compared to some of the other learner bikes out there, these guys are pretty expensive. This cost me, it was second-hand, 2014 model. I had to fight the guy and I got it for 10 grand Australian. Registration costs me 190 a quarter, so every 3 months 190. Compared to my friend who has a Ninja, it costs him, I think he said something like $300 for 12 months. So, but that's due to engine size. The registration here is a bit weird. So yeah, it's a bit more expensive to register. Insurance on it wasn't too bad. Because I've already got my full car license, though, I think is why my insurance wasn't that bad at all. I think it's $24 a month. Now going back, I keep going off topic here with whether this is ideal for a learner. I had ridden dirt bikes, but only when I was a teenager, so I hadn't touched a bike between the age of 14 and 32. So there's a huge gap there where I hadn't ridden at all. When I got on, I was absolutely terrified. I think my original ride videos are on. No, I think my first. Yeah, no, they probably are on YouTube. And I'm very sketchy riding. Always worried about what's going on and whether it was going to slip. I think the first time I rode it, it was raining as well. Whereas now I'm still sketchy riding because I don't trust people, but I had issues, I think, my first ride with right-hand turns. I've never, in nearly 2.5 years, or whatever it's been, 2 years, 3 months, not once have I stalled it. Not once. The clutch is just phenomenal. The low end torque in these is just magic. It could also be that I've been conscious about not stalling it. But yeah, not once. They're really, really hard to stall. You've got to, I would recommend, if you can get your license, to test ride. I'd never test rode this thing. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have bought it if I knew I was going to have to spend money on it to make it comfortable. Very limited funds. I only work part-time, so trying to get shit paid for is very difficult. What else can I talk about? Comfort of the bike. You have to make it your own. The brakes, they're not bad. It's ABS. I would recommend ABS for new people if you've never ridden. Buy the gear. Like, seriously, if you're a learner and you're not wearing the gear, you're just asking for trouble. It's been good. Like, I'm happy I bought this because I don't have the money to buy a bigger one. As much as I would love a Street Glide, a Road King, Heritage Softail, Fat Boy Slim, a Fat Boy, everything with a bigger bloody engine, I would love. But I haven't got the money to pay for one. So I'm glad I went out. That was the idea. I was going to buy the biggest bike I could legally ride. Within my price range. So that I could keep it. Now, my only concern is my back's already hurting. Yeah, I worked yesterday, but my back is already hurting. So I've got a friend that lives about 5 hours from here, and they do a hot rod thing every year. And I would love to go down there for the hot rods, but I'd love to take the bike down there. But it is just not doable. Because I wouldn't be able to ride that far. So for around town, it has been absolutely awesome. It is so much fun to ride. Gets me in trouble and out of trouble. It is good fun. And I think anything with less power would really just not be interesting. I don't know, that sounds stupid, but bikes want more. You want more from them. You just want to keep getting more powerful, more power. wish the Superlow had, which I've read a few times from other people as well, is a 6th gear. So it's only a 5-speed, and yeah, I do wish it had a 6th gear, especially doing 100 kilometers an hour down the parkway. I really wish it had that extra little bit. In saying that, I don't work out there anymore, so I don't have to do the 100 kilometers an hour. So it's sitting at 80, she's fine. Yeah, you're not going to win races on it, like, by any means. Like, if it's got 4 wheels, you're pretty much gonna smoke them on a bike. Just the power to weight every day. Suspension, another point for maybe you might want to upgrade it. Could be a reason why it's not the greatest, but if you get a good seat, you'll feel the bumps no matter what. But I think that's part of the appeal as well, is that you can feel the road underneath you. It's not like driving in a cloud or anything like that. It feels raw. The shield is just awesome. It keeps it off my chest, blows it straight up. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going for a ride. No goals. Just talking shit. I literally have no idea what else to say about the bike. If you're going to have to do a course to get your P's, I would recommend definitely do what I did. And don't take your bike. Use one of theirs. All the haters out there will be saying, oh, but if you can't ride your bike through the course, you shouldn't be riding it. That's bullshit. Name me one friggin' time that you actually do a U-turn. Everyone avoids U-turns at all costs. If you don't have to do it, if you can put your feet down and do it, awesome. That's what most people do. Now, for the course, you've got to do the U-turn. I can do the U-turn on this. I can do the cone weave on it and everything. When it came to the word test, the cone weave, spot on. The U-turn, I stuffed it, and the emergency brake as well. Because you care about your bike, you don't really want to slam the brakes on, even if it is just a test. I know my brakes work fine, they get me out of trouble when I need to. But yeah, if you're going to go and do your test, do it on one of their bikes, because you can throw that thing around. Especially here, they're a 125 little Honda. Look at all those spring flowers. Clunk clunk. That was the suspension. That definitely needs some new suspension one day. Would love to get some new suspension on it, just to make it soft and squishy like a cloud. So there's always things that you want to upgrade. You a police? I think you might be a police. But as a learner bike, if you're in the ACT or somewhere in the world which allows you to use them as a learner bike, each to their own. But I say yes, they are very viable, but in longevity, if you're going to want to pick one, I would go the Superlow, hence why I did, because I can ride it for a week and not have to fill it up. I don't know anyone on the Iron that can say the same, and if they're actually if they're actually daily riders on their Irons, there's no way that they do the amount of Ks I do on one tank. I'm averaging 250 kilometers out of a tank. Not today, because I'm giving it a bit of a rip today. But the tank size This big fella here, definitely get the bigger tank. The Iron's got the peanut tank. This is the, oh, I can't remember the numbers. It's the bigger tank. Someone will tell me in the comments if someone actually watches this. And I know it, I just can't think of it right now. But the bigger tank holds more petrol, means you can go further, bigger rides, not have to worry. But and the having the lower center of gravity on it as well, even with a full tank, you don't notice that it's heavy. Speed bumps. That was funny. I could have gone over that then. I haven't been on this road for years. This used to be the road that my bus would take me on when I was a kid. More spring flowers. Spring flowers everywhere. I'm only showing you the flowers because I know if certain people that live in certain areas are talking about leaves all over their roads where they're riding. Whereas we've got spring. It's just popped up last week. It was just absolutely insane how fast it popped up. So my wife doesn't drive, so I drive her to work in the morning, and I noticed on the way home from driving her that all the flowers were out and I hadn't seen them. So it was literally overnight. Well, it felt like it was overnight. Could have been a few days, but so this is where I found the bike suffers the most, roundabouts. Now, half of you guys out there won't have these issues, but you definitely got to take them slow. Alright, let's get some speed up me. I've got to remember freaking new tyres, so around the corners I can't go very quick either. So yeah, she's a fun bike. Definitely, you know, I'm living proof that you can do this. You can ride one of these, be it an Iron 883 or the Superlow. You can do it on your L's. You can do it if you've never ridden a bike before. Just take your time, go to a car park, give it a go, ride and do it laps of the car park. But don't keep doing it though. Give it a go on the road. Just go, right, I'm at the car park, no worries, let's ride at home now. Ride yourself home, ride around your local street. That's what I did. I still do. Like now I'm riding around streets that I know, just because I like to ride. Don't go on unfamiliar roads, don't go on fast roads, anything over sort of 80 k's an hour. I'm not sure what that is in American. I think that's 60 miles an hour. Just do the slower stuff on roads that you know. Get a feel for it. If you're lucky enough like me to have friends who've got bikes as well, go for a ride with them. Let them lead, you follow. That way you can sort of see where they're going and what the road looks like. Just practice, lots and lots of practice. That's all you can do. Don't take yourself out of your comfort zone too much though, because that's when you start to stuff things up. And don't panic. If you stall it, so what? The car behind you can't move any further. If you're at the lights, what are they going to do? They're going to go around you, they're going to honk. Whoop-de-doo. It's not the end of the world if a car honks at you. Don't let them push you around, just ignore them. Know that they're there because they're all dickheads in cars, but don't let them bully you. Yeah, just lots of practice. Give it a good hot go and you will enjoy it. You'll save lots of money on petrol and everything. It is an awesome lifestyle. You got to do what's good for you. You can watch videos all day about what bike's this and what bike's that. At the end of the day, don't let people push you into doing something you don't want to. I almost bought an iron for that reason, because it was the bike for the cool people. I'm very happy with my Superlow. Look at all these people in their cars. They're not out having a good time. They're all going to work and whatever. When I go to work, I have a big smile on my face because I get to go 0 to 100 very, very fast. I do want to get this P plate off though, so I can start lane filtering. Ooh, my arms are a bit cold. It's a little bit chilly out here. It's really nice in the sun. It's the wind that's stinging me. Where are we at? 166 k's. Wow, I've done 25 kilometers. That's not bad. And look, I can flat foot and stand up, stretch my legs. Hope I'm still recording, otherwise it's been a giant waste. Jesus Christ, man, what are you doing? I don't know whether that's on camera, but let's get it going on YouTube. Just drove straight off the road up the gutter. Oh God. If only that wasn't wide view, that would have been awesome for Dashcams Australia. Shout out to Dashcams Australia. Oh, that is too funny. She went around the corner and then straight up the gutter. Just kept turning. That's how people like me die. People like that aren't watching the road, paying attention to what's going on. The headlight though, seriously, that's another thing I didn't cover before. You've got to replace it if you are riding at night. I've got a Daymaker and it is fantastic. For all your night riding or even day riding, people see you. What's up, buddy? People know you're coming. Remembering that it's light as well, so if there's any bit of wind, you are going to get thrown around. So, you know, I'm not sure the weight of them, but compared to a Road King or a Street Glide or anything like that, you are going to get thrown around. Like a ragdoll. But yeah, all in all, I would say it has been a fantastic bike, and I will eventually miss it when I get rid of it. Maybe for a GS. They're a nice bike. If you've got any questions about them, anything at all, cost of the tyres will set you back in Australian dollars $600 for the front and the back to replace the tyres. Do the service at the right time, it'll cost you $250, $260 actually, through a Harley dealer. We do a winter special here, and both times that's when I've got mine done. Yeah, any questions about it, things I haven't covered, there's probably stuff I missed, and I'll watch this through and realise that I've missed it. But after 2 years, 3 months, I still love it. But I want something a bit bigger.